everyone, welcome back. Episode 4. I'm really happy with our consistency, and we're in a different set today. As you can tell, we're trying out recording at the studio. It's been fun so far. We haven't started posting yet. If you're watching this, we pre-recorded. We're just recording and figuring out editing, since I'm kind of exploring the editing part of it too.
Yeah. So I did want to get started today with, so I switched to Tidal. Well, we switched to Tidal.
Oh yeah, we did.
How do you like it so far?
I haven't really gotten to use it much, and honestly, I switched about a week ago, and I've only been listening to Dominic Fike and the Marias. Since then, I haven't really tried out their radio services or their playlists or anything like that.
No, it's fire. The sound quality too, it's like another, it just sounds really good.
Yeah.
And you could also, I think, when you put master, right?
Yeah.
It's like the full quality of that song, right?
It's called hi-fi, yeah.
Hi-fi.
They call it hi-fi when it's, I guess, studio quality.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the specs, but you can definitely tell the difference. It's really cool.
Yeah, I really think, though, like one thing, though, that if you Tidal people are listening in, if you guys can make a collaborative playlist, that shit would be dope.
That would be cool.
That'd be the icing on the cake, because I really like the app.
So you can't add stuff to my playlist?
I don't think so, unless I might be wrong, but in case I'm not, Tidal.
For sure, they need to add that.
Do your thing. So yeah, so I did switch to Tidal. That's one thing I wanted to talk about, and I like it.
Yeah. And why did we switch?
You can.
We switched because they pay out in royalties to their artist about 3 times that of Spotify, and I was like, wow, that's very significant. And it's not even like a little bit. It's by far, I think, Spotify is like 0.003, and Tidal is 0.012.
Yeah, 0.012
cents.
Yeah, which is
per play.
That's like way better, and us, we're in support of the artists and the creatives. So
yeah.
And when I switched, I thought it was gonna be like kind of a watered down app and like kind of low quality.
Because it's not well known.
Yeah, because it's not well known, exactly. And no, I'm not mad at it. It's pretty dope, and the quality is way better. So I don't know why people aren't hopping on that. Maybe because Spotify is pushed a little bit more.
For sure, to the mainstream.
Yeah, but all right, Tidal, do your thing.
Yeah, I also really like how it shows you the credits for all of the songs. Very specific credit titles. It'll show you songwriter, singer, composer, mixer even.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen Spotify do that yet.
Oh yeah. You could get down to the nitty gritty as far as like crediting just everyone who needs to be credited, not just like the producer or writers, but like what desanti just said.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking it may be the distributor that people aren't really editing their stuff to the T, because I realized with the distributor that I switched to, DistroKid, it didn't at first show me the option to put a producer. I had to go back in and go to credits and then add new credit.
Yeah.
So I think everyone just doesn't know maybe that you can add more extensive credits.
Yeah, and it's definitely most likely to the step where whoever is uploading your stuff on the distribution website, whether it's AWOL, what's the other one, DistroKid or TuneCore, they all have like different ways to add credits. So that's one thing to keep in mind before you get mad. But like if they didn't credit you right, or they put you as a writer and there's like a blank on the producer, you can correct it. So but if they don't correct it, then you can get kind of you get angry about it. But yeah, just a heads up. So what are we drinking today?
Okay, we're drinking the Mayomi Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
I thought the R was silent.
Noi?
Pinot Noir. It's noir.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. I think, I don't know. Pinot Noir.
Pinot, and it's really sweet. It's surprisingly sweet. I wasn't expecting it to be sweet because I think we've only been drinking really bitter Pinots, especially compared to the one in the last episode, the sugar-free one.
I love that word, Pinot. Yeah, that sugar, it wasn't hitting like this one's hitting. Mm-hmm. And it's not expensive, so yeah.
Yeah, this is nice. Kind of want some of those. One time, me and Majesty went to this restaurant with like, it was called Postino's, and they have like, they slice the bread and then they have different toppings on each one, like salmon, chicken, cream cheese, and then they have wine, and that's the only thing that they serve. It's pretty cool.
Okay, well, I want to go to that place.
I kind of want that right now.
Oh, it's craving?
Yeah, with this wine.
Oh, with that?
I think it would go perfect.
Yeah, shit, that sounds like a good, I want to eat bread with random stuff on it. So yeah, what do I have here? Oh, shit.
Wait, can we put the Outlandsh logo right there?
You're gonna have to airdrop it to me.
Okay.
Right now that there's a pause.
Okay, I guess find your next talking point.
Oh, I got it. I need to separate these.
I guess not. I don't have like a background for it.
That's cool. We can get it all right.
Yeah.
All right, so I did want to talk about, so if you guys didn't know, Desanti has dropped her single, Pretty and Paid, and yeah, it's out, and I feel like you've really grown a lot especially since we've met.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to hear your story. I want to hear, like, if I didn't already know it, right? Like, I kind of want to hear what your perspective on, like, how Internet Barbie was even born.
Okay. Well, I think, how Internet Barbie was born is we were in the studio songwriting, and this was whenever I was just songwriting with you guys, not really for myself. And usually, like, we make beats and then we all write to it together to make demos, and I think I just wrote a melody line for a beat that you were making. Also,
though, before you continue, give me, like, details of how you were feeling. Were you nervous? Were you not nervous? Did you kind of feel like doing music that day that was different, that was, like, for you? Or, like, I kind of want to know your emotions throughout the whole thing, because I don't think we've ever talked about that.
Yeah, I think I've always been nervous with showing you guys the melodies that I've been working on, but that's the point of working with you guys, is to get better at melodies and writing and music in general. So I always just go for it anyway, and I wasn't nervous that day because I think I was more comfortable with you and Majesty, as opposed to when I first started with you guys, when I was really nervous.
Let's talk about that now.
To sing in front of you guys.
Did you feel like I feel like everybody, like, when you meet somebody, it's like they're criticizing you, or like they're secretly in competition with you, but, like, did you ever get any of that kind of?
No, I felt like you guys were guiding me, because Majesty would take the lyrics that I wrote and then he would be like, take this out, take that out, like, just say this, like, simplify it. And then when I first started, actually, we were doing sessions and I would come up with a melody line with lyrics. I would sing it to Majesty, so then he would sing it out loud because I was too shy. Yeah. So I'd be like, Majesty, can you sing this out loud? And then I would sing it in his ear, and then he would sing it out loud. So it's a funny comparison. We haven't really songwritten together in a couple months, like, as a team. But when Internet Barbie was born, I was just excited to sing with autotune because it brings out, like, a different voice, and you can kind of just play with it and see what it does to your voice.
Yeah.
That's not your regular voice. So I was just kind of having fun with. Actually, that was a freestyle, I think. The first Internet Barbie.
Oh, that song.
Yeah.
The one that didn't open after anymore.
Yeah, the file wouldn't open, so we didn't work on it.
We had a corrupt file, and I had to, and I use Ableton, by the way. So I used to use FL Studio, so I still like FL Studio. But I choose Ableton Live now.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why do you switch?
Just the new update is just crazy. Like I love FL Studio, but like the fact that recording is kind of a hassle for me. As soon as Ableton sold me on when they could do the take lanes for vocal comping.
Okay, you can record over it and then you can see all the takes.
Yeah, to me that's like a game changer for me.
Yeah,
and I
that's
was
pretty
like,
cool.
I have to do that, and I have to relearn that because I use both on and off, but I've been sticking to Ableton right now, and I quite like it.
Good.
So, but yeah, so going back to you though, what I've always, I would say respect about you is that you just go into things, you know, like a lot of people think about stuff too much, but the fact that you just kind of go in there and do it, that's like, why is that so hard? Like most people don't do that. There's people
It's
that are
hard.
Yeah, other people would consider are talented and can sing like, I don't know, Ariana, right? But they just don't have the, for lack of a better word, balls to get up in there and do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's really all a big confidence thing.
So how would you suggest like what goes on in your head? Like what do you even think about, like the what if like it doesn't happen, or what if
what doesn't happen?
Like the music thing, or what if they didn't like it, or what if, you know, like.
Yeah, I think I always think what if like they don't like it, what if, you know, but I always tell myself there's so much content out there that I think sucks. So what is another thing that might suck in this world of things that suck? Like the chances of that, like I'm okay with that just because it's not a perfect world.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much stuff out there, and music is subjective, so it's like compared to all the other stuff that I think suck, like what is one more sucking song? As long as I'm having fun, as long as I'm owning it, you know, as long as I'm going through with it, as long as I'm being consistent, like I will gain an audience, even if some people don't like it, you know, even if it does suck.
Yeah, and just know that he who hates masturbates. So if you're hating right now, take your hand out your pants.
Is that a negative thing? Oh, okay. Like
after
they
you take your hand out of your
pants.
Yeah, after you take your hand out of your pants, subscribe. Okay, going back to you though again. So, I mean, yeah, if you were to give advice to anyone that's wanting to try out music and is kind of hesitant, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to just do it more, and then to ask people whose opinion you value for constructive criticism, and then go from there.
I'm glad you brought that up too, like whose opinion you value.
Yeah, you have to be like.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't have like a really good intuition on who is telling them something because they hate you secretly or because they're trying to help you.
Okay.
So I would say, like for me, when I'm listening to somebody that is giving me constructive criticism, I have to know them for sure. And if I don't know them, like their words have to come from an honest place, I feel like, and not from a hateful place, which I feel like is pretty easy kind of to break down in your head. Like, oh, is this person coming at me, or are they really trying to just help?
Yeah.
Because I'd rather hear somebody tell me, like, if something does suck, or like if it feels or sounds like it's not complete, and they give a good constructive answer or opinion, I'm listening, you know?
Yeah.
But if it's just like somebody trolling, I'm just like, oh, dude, whatever. I don't listen to those.
Yeah.
But so how would you differentiate between somebody who's trying to help you and somebody who's trying to put you down?
You look at their credibility and see what they've done in the past. I don't see why a person that has a good track record with what you're trying to achieve better than you do and you're asking them for their opinion or critiques and stuff like that, I don't see a reason why they would use it as a way to hate on you or to lead you the wrong way or do something out of spite, because really they have nothing to lose other than like their time maybe. But then again, like hating would probably take up more time and energy. So
what do you think about well, wait, yeah, that's actually good advice for people who are hesitant to start.
I've never really come across someone that can actually provide value to me that would respond negatively or like want to give, put me down. I think it's so funny that we're recording this podcast now, but soon our branding's going to develop more and we're going to look back at this as like the beginning stages.
Yeah,
like I'm getting a whole haircut for Internet Barbie.
I was like, what? I was like, oh, okay.
I'm getting a haircut.
A whole ass haircut. Wait, are we rolling? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So I did want to talk about, I kind of wanted to just talk about, like, there's like an epidemic of artists that listen way too much to music industry people. And I always look at it like this. Like, there's so many people, like, did you know that like Sexy Back wasn't going to be approved by the label, but he pushed for it.
Oh, really?
And then they released it and it ended up being a badass song. These people don't know. They get hired for their resume, not their taste. And the reason that these A&Rs and managers are so competitive to get the next upcoming thing, it's all because they think of you as a product.
Right.
Only you're not a product. You're the artist. So that's just one thing that I wanted to kind of make clear. And you go ahead and chime in on that.
Yeah, I think it's hard not to listen to music industry people because they have the title or they're in the position. So I think,
but that's the thing too, is like that's what gets people,
for sure. Yeah,
because like they're literally telling you their resume when they tell you, oh, I've worked with Young Thug and so and Charlie XCX, and that just means they were part of the team. That doesn't mean that they were hired for any particular reason.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess like seeing it on the flip side, just to be your counter argument, but I agree with you. Yeah. These are probably people that are really passionate about music and they just didn't know where they fit in the business of it other than the business side. And then now, since it's not necessarily the creative part that they're really good at, probably the business part, then they feel like that's where they contribute and they feel like that's just what they, I don't know how to finish out this thought. That's probably where they feel like that validates their reason to be in the music industry.
Like that's how they feel they can contribute to the music industry.
Yeah. But they might not know, because they lack the creativity and the taste, they may not know that they're actually might be hurting a project.
Well, it just depends on the person, because like,
yeah, for sure.
How, like, I don't know, like, no offense to a manager that's ever been in the room with me in a studio session, because I love everyone to death, but that I know, but like, I mean, before an idea starts, if somebody's in the room just like, nah, that ain't it, it's like, well, dude, you don't know how music's made. Sometimes the idea nobody likes, and you've been there when this happens. Yeah. It ends up turning into something way more epic, and you got to let the process play out. And sometimes inexperienced people will get in the way of that, and that's okay. So I'm here to also tell people, like, if you manage artists, or that doesn't mean you have to be there like and micromanage every single little thing, because you're only going to get in the way of it. I feel like letting people breathe is the option. I mean, is the way to go for things like that. So, but yeah, on the bright side, the managers and A&Rs and people that are in the industry are usually people that are very passionate about music and love music. And those are the people that I love to meet.
Yeah.
Not the scammers or
Right.
like the people playing middleman on things and all that sketchy stuff. Get out of here with that.
Yeah, wanting to just get a cut.
Yeah.
And looking at people as... But I think it is literally their job to look at the artist as a business. I just think there should be more of a balance of letting them do their thing.
But like even in like the real world, like a 9-to-5 or whatever, like just a regular job of any sort, do you think like it's the same thing? Like there's people that work at their job and just like, oh, I just work here.
Yeah.
And they don't really do their job right, and they half-ass it. And would you rather work with somebody like that, be your manager, or somebody who's passionate and you can tell and they try and they're going to be there every step of the way for you?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You can tell when people are dragging ass. Okay. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, when someone's doing it for the money versus doing it because they're passionate about music.
Yeah, and in this case, because saying you're in the music industry has such a intriguing... Like if I were to talk about the music industry in front of a couple people, let's say we were in LA or something, and that we were talking about that, and there was a couple of artists, they'd probably eavesdrop on us and be like, oh wait, let's see what they say, who they know, right? I feel like some people, their heart isn't in the right place sometimes.
Yeah.
And they might even use it just because they want to say they work in the music industry and trick people.
It's such an interesting industry because it's about being flashy and about presenting and about the performance and the show, and that brings in a lot of the downside of people's intent is like the popularity and clout and being around celebrities and stuff mixed in with the self-expression and the creative part, and it's like those two worlds have to meet. But now you have people...
Yeah, when's the album gonna be done?
Yeah.
That type shit.
What album? Or when's it... Drop the album.
Yeah.
Drop the album, you know, like I have to go and make it first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just your paycheck.
But you're not thought of as that way sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. I feel like, you know, there's a balance.
I think we do need that though. We need the managers that think of people as businesses, but we just need the balance, because obviously if the music manager was good at music, he wouldn't be a manager. He would be a songwriter or a producer, exactly. You know? So
yeah,
we need...
I love that you said that too.
We need the place for the managers that are passionate about music. We just need them to also recognize that the artists are the artist and that the managers are the managers, and for each one to want to stay in their lane.
Well, not even... Well, yeah, that, and also just meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know?
In a way. Just like how we were talking about the other day, that having teams is so important because each person has what they're good at and what they can contribute without stepping on each other's toes. Like I know I'm not good at seeing an idea all the way through, but that's what you're here for. And then I trust you with my projects because you are good at putting things together. You have good taste, so I'm trusting you with my Instagram.
Like Legos.
Today.
Oh.
With my branding, yeah, because you have that eye, and you're letting me take care of the marketing for our beats and stuff in the podcast, because that's what I'm good at.
Yeah, you're really good at that.
So I think it's important for them to know what their role is and not want to have much of a say in the creative.
Yeah, because nobody like in any industry, it could be the office, like in a cubicle, the industrial field. There's always there's the business side of things, and then there's like the people who they're not really worried about like the people that actually do the work, you know. And I just feel like there just needs to be a level of respect throughout the whole thing. Like if people are respecting the managers need to also respect the other people.
Yeah.
And it's not, there's no ranks.
Yeah, it's when the power comes in, when it makes them feel just like any other manager in any other industry.
Say this. If your personality is the 48 laws of power, that's just going to drive me away.
The book's not even real. The author is not even like
Well, I don't want to.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, but
he admitted he wrote that book in a very dark time in his life. You know, it's not, not a very honest book.
But a lot of people do get off to that book.
Take it to heart.
And they make it their personality.
Their religion.
Of how to manipulate people.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It's like, nah, dude. Just have a personality. That's it. A
better book to read would be How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that book has some sort of, I would say, positive manipulation. I don't know if there's any, on how to make yourself likable, but in an honest, genuine way. Mm-hmm. On how to be there for people and assist people and just be on the person's team instead of trying to mindfuck the person into, oh, now they think higher of me kind of thing.
Yeah, because see that. So basically, people will manipulate you. And I see this a lot in LA all the time. People will manipulate you into thinking that they are, we were watching Tenacious D yesterday. And the guy did exactly what I'm talking about right now. He manipulated this guy into doing a bunch of stuff for him because he lied and said he'd
wrote for
whoever.
Yeah. I forgot.
Dio. I think Dio, or I don't remember. But it's like people do this all the time. And there's so many people. I feel bad for the people that have been caught up in a bad producer agreement maybe, and with these people that don't even ever give you your songs because they don't even do anything. They're just going to take your money, and they said, hey, I worked with, I don't know, I smelled Post Malone once or whatever. And I was in the room with A$AP Rocky. I was watching him eat. Or I went to go get food for so-and-so. Like, it's like, quit trying, like, who are you? Let me know you.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know who you are and the depths of your characteristics. Like, I don't need to know who you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like everyone can be, like, everybody deep down inside, I feel like can be a good person. But, man, some people just have so many masks on that it's just hard to even get along with certain people. But back to the teamwork thing that you said earlier, if you have some good people around you that are just good at different things that maybe you aren't, it'll take you a long way. Trust me.
Yeah, for sure. And social media is a great way to network and find people that you get along with, start hanging out with people, start going to local events and meeting people.
Yeah. And always believe in yourself. Like, don't ever doubt yourself. And I feel like one thing that especially for artists is when you start comparing yourself to others, it's like everybody's so unique that, just find what your special, unique thing is. And it could be music, it could be singing, it could be the way you write, it could be the way you do your lyrics.
Yeah, I was surprised that this style of singing, I'd always just kind of never thought of it as a...
Specify on what style?
The girly rap / sing-songy internet Barbie sound.
I see, yeah.
I'd never sung like that seriously. I've only sung like that like when I sing along to these songs in the car, but I'd always tried to sing in my chest voice, like really like a heavy chest voice is what I thought was my singing voice. And songwriting with you guys are like, your chest voice, like, no, like, please sing in your head voice. So switching to my head voice, and then when I started Internet Barbie, I started the sing rap stuff.
Yeah.
And the yelling kind of stuff.
And so what she's talking about is like when I was producing her, like sound almost, or not sound, but like kind of when we were experimenting kind of with her sound is what I meant to say. She used to sing in a certain way, but I don't know, I always heard her in another way because I knew her voice was kind of it was very unique in a way where she could, like, it just sounded like it'd be hype to me. I don't know why.
Which is interesting because my personality is complete opposite. But what I like about...
Wait, what do you mean?
My personality is like very calm and chill and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But what's cool about creating as an artist is you can be whatever you want when you're creating.
Exactly. So have fun with it, you know. But going back to that, I really like to, when we were in the room and creating and figuring out what we were going to do with Internet Barbie, like I always listen to things as if I was, I mean, I wouldn't say fan, but like a listener. Yeah. From the perspective of a listener, like how would I have this on my playlist, or like what would I, you know, because not everyone has like a broad range of, like, there's just some people that could impersonate maybe like different people, and I feel like those people are actually harder to pick a sound for because they could do it all. But like, I don't know why, but I felt like what Internet Barbie what is right now, I don't know why I feel like that's what I was kind of hearing in you.
I love that.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say something.
Was that Lucy right there?
Yeah, that was Lucy.
Oh, and Lucy's my dog. So I kind of want to go off the rails here and talk about conspiracy stuff. Okay, you down?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's talk about language. I was having this, I was kind of like reading around, and just, I don't know why. Sometimes I just start going into in depths of reading things. And it's mostly when I'm in the restroom.
Like on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
The modern day newspaper. Except it doesn't have crossword puzzles. Nobody does those anymore.
No. People play like stuff on their phones.
Yeah. So I was thinking about the origin of language, of why there's so many different languages. Without even like just the most uneducated guess, like the most conspiracy answer that you could think of out of your head. Like, what is your opinion? Like, how do you think, why is there so many different languages? Do you feel like there's some sort of purpose behind that, or you know?
Purpose. I don't think I have a specific purpose. I'm very, I mean, I'm not very educated on the history of how the world came about.
Exactly.
But
the most uneducated
my
answer.
my assumption is that everyone started as one, and then one tribe branched off to start their own tribe, and then they all branched off into different tribes, and then they reproduced and then started their own tribes and then branched off and migrated, because people used to walk like thousands of miles, you know, the nomads and different types of people that did nomad stuff. So they've been all over, you know, they used to walk all over. And when Pangea was like a one big continent and then it split up, that split up a lot of people too, which caused them to develop their own tongues and stuff like that. So that's my assumption.
Tongue, like languages?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I always thought, and I think the most far-fetched stuff.
What do you believe?
I believe that language, for whatever reason, was created to separate people.
Okay. Created by like governments?
Maybe. Like back in the day, or religion more, I feel like acted more like how modern day governments do.
Yeah, for sure. Government and religion were one.
I just feel like they've made so many different things to just separate people.
Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe just people just never agreed with each other and always wanted to create something new of their own.
Yeah.
Because that's human nature.
I think that's kind of relates to what I was talking about. Like they decided to just split up and start their own thing.
But also, what if it was created to separate people so they won't revolt against the power, the higher powers? I don't know why. I just.
Yeah, could be.
Just a crazy thought I had.
Yeah, I mean that's usually how things like that spread. Is the ruler or whatever will be like, how can I become more powerful? And that's definitely, I can see that happening.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any other crazy stuff like that, or that you've been thinking about? Like maybe like the origin of where humans came from, and like maybe like the pyramids, and like why in Mexico, and like.
Isn't it crazy how the pyramids everywhere are like the same architecture?
Yeah.
And
That is
they
crazy.
all point at specific stars, I believe. I don't know. I haven't looked much into it, but I just kind of, when I heard that, I did watch a documentary on it. It was a while back though, but I never questioned it. It just seems like,
All right, we'll question it now.
it just seemed like that makes sense. Like when everyone said, when the documentary was like, all the pyramids are energy harvesting plants, and underneath it they harvest like energy with water at the bottom or something, and they all connect and point in similar, connecting related directions. And I was just like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because they teach you in school that they're like tombs or something, tombs.
Oh yeah, tombs.
But they're not tombs. They're energy harvesting sources. Are they tombs?
Huh?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
They're
School has
antennas.
is literally been false about a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah, when you think about it, they're just wanting to sell textbooks. And then when you really think about it, it's like, wow, those textbooks were expensive, even the used ones.
Yeah. I mean, even that's how professors make their money, is writing their own textbook and then selling it to their students and making them mandatory.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You have to buy your specific teacher's textbook.
Wow.
Or you won't be able to do anything in the class, because all the lessons are based on that one professor's textbook.
And it all starts at an early age in kindergarten when they give you a list of colors to go get.
Yeah.
A supply list.
It's all a business.
Wow. Just made me think of a lot of things.
I mean, I understand needing supplies for a class, but a textbook? Like a very specific
It's like, I need colors. What else?
Germex,
Cheese.
Kleenex.
Skittles.
I do understand that though, because,
And the Skittles, I had to give it to the teacher.
But
That's
why
scary.
doesn't the school fund the school supplies? Like school supplies come with Kleenex,
Animal
the
crackers.
Germex, not animal crackers. Stuff that is for the classroom supplies that I think the school should fund, not even the teachers, because a lot of teachers fund stuff for their classroom themselves from their pocket, and I don't think that's how it should be.
Yeah. Well, going back to the crazy thoughts though, and thoughts as in like, your mind.
Yeah.
So how do you believe like the pyramids were made, or the purpose of people, like like the origin of the human, like the most crazy shit you could think of? Give me your theory.
I believe that we evolved from an organism, like a cell, and then the cell reproduced and turned into something else because of its environment, because there has been, our cells adapt to our environment, and the laws of the universe are only in place because it's a habit that they remember. And I read that somewhere. I can't quote the book right now, but it makes sense that as the environment of the earth changes, the humans evolve with it, and then we just evolved into humans now. But it's not necessarily like the whole Darwinism thing of evolution that I believe in, which, by the way, Darwinism was actually discovered, or the philosophy of whatever it's considered was
Theory.
The theory was thought up by someone else that worked with a very wealthy family that was the Darwins, and then they took his thoughts, research, and put their name on it. So it wasn't actually Darwin, it was someone else. But anyway, yeah, I think the very scientific thing is what resonates with me more. What about you?
I just believe science is what's recordable. So that just means that I feel like there's just so many undiscovered things. Because when you think about it, a lot of things are theories still.
Yeah.
But people, just because they're in a science book, they take them as fact.
Like what?
I don't know. Oh, the Big Bang Theory? Nobody knows.
Yeah,
It's still a Big Bang Theory, but people will, they'll take it to heart, kind of like. And if you haven't personally been outer space, you're really just listening to a person who says they've been outer space. That's my thing.
Do you think the moon landing was faked, that video?
I don't know. It could be.
I think it was.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, there's a high possibility, because when you think about it, when somebody's looking for funding, never mind, I don't want to get killed.
I mean, that's how all most industries work.
And how does America work? It's like, if you're not going to get funding unless you can prove something.
It's like portray an image, like how Drake rented out what's that car name? Rolls Royce.
Okay.
He said he would rent it out just to make himself look like he had already made it. But he could barely afford to rent it, and he kept renting it when he was broke just so he could portray that image.
Oh, like in the song he said that?
I think he said it in an article or interview.
Oh, interview. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like
same concept.
A lot of these science...
Moon landing, Drake.
I feel like a lot of these science labs, and they all need money for research. Like, they're not the ones funding it.
Yeah.
Someone is. So how do they do it? They need to create a reason for them to have that research.
Yeah.
And then they start getting the funding.
Yeah.
So it's just something to think about.
That's how everything works. That reminded me of something that I've heard in a lot of places and that I kind of did a couple years ago when I was helping start a vape product. It was a couple years ago, and we had it in a couple of smoke shops around Houston, and we would send in people to go and buy it so that the shop owner would be like, oh, they're selling, and then so the shop owner would place another order.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
So it's same fake it till you make it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from the same place, like both of those things. All right, so I wanted to move on to song suggestions. And of course, I'm going to go first. And then next time you can go first. But right now, I'm going first. I stumbled upon Cautious Clay.
I do like him a lot.
There's a song called Wildfire. And that one just caught me. It just caught me off guard. Like, I wasn't even in that mood. And that's how I know a song's good. Like, when it alters my mood into feeling like how that person's feeling.
Did you listen to this on Tidal? Is that where you discovered it?
Yeah.
Good. No, that's good.
No, Tidal has a good
suggestion of songs.
Yeah, it does. It does for sure. I was like, what? That's accurate.
I love that. Everyone should switch to Tidal.
And the second one is Genevieve. Okay. And the song is Eternal. That's what it's called.
Nice. What genre?
I think it's like R&B, but like it's not. It's like pop kind of R&B, but it just has this feeling to it, and how she's doing her vocals for some reason, I just like really like it. And a lot of her songs are good too, but I don't know why that one was just hitting.
Nice.
Okay. What are your song suggestions?
My song suggestion is Basta Ya by the Marias. And because there's this, towards the end of the song, kind of in the bridge, there's this melody that they don't sing in any other part of the song. Of course, because it's the bridge, but it's just like 3 notes, and the rhythm is like what they call syncopated, you know, where it's like not on, it's like on rhythm, but it's like does a whole thirds thing. Thirds, like instead of going like 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It just kind of like, it's this, not even a switch up. It's just like these 3 notes that are a completely different rhythm, completely different notes.
Yeah, so you guys listen to it to see what she's talking about.
So I will literally rewind it and listen to that again.
We'll we're going to plug it in right here.
And I think I'm just fascinated by like how when they're songwriting and making melodies, how they were like, oh, this melody will go here, but only like the melody is strong enough to only be in that one spot of the song and like make the song. It's pretty cool to me.
Hold on. Another one?
I needed to swallow. I don't know. I have when I talk a lot, I just like get a lot of saliva.
Oh yeah, me too.
You don't? Yeah. Okay. I think it's normal. It's normal.
It's normal.
No, and also I just got the rubber bands in my braces put in, and I'm not used to talking with them, and I like produce a lot of saliva. So
I keep forgetting you have braces.
Yeah. Good. Another song suggestion. I think will be Whirly by Dominic Fike. I've only been listening to those two artists the past week since I switched to Tidal, just because I've been really busy and I really haven't had time to listen to music, and when I do, that's what I put on. It's like my default is the Marias and Dominic Fike, but that song I had on repeat for a while when it came out, so it's a good song.
Mm-hmm. All right. Movie suggestions. I'll have one.
Yeah.
In case you're gonna steal mine.
Okay. I'm not gonna say Tenacious D.
I was gonna say.
I was not a big fan of that.
I was gonna say another one.
The other one, okay.
So get your own.
You can have that one, because I showed
It wasn't
you
up
that
to
movie.
you. It wasn't up to you.
It was up to me. I showed you that movie.
Which one?
Mamma Mia.
Oh man, I was not about.
You
to
were
say
not
that.
gonna say that?
No.
Why not?
It's a cool movie.
It was a cool movie.
Amanda Seyfried's hot, but I was gonna say my movie suggestion for you guys, especially you guys that do music, is Get Him to the Greek. Not only is it hilarious, but I feel like it's just
it's so funny.
yeah, it's funny, and it has music industry stuff, and I just really love that movie.
And it's starring Jonah Hill and
Russell Brand.
Yeah. Two legends. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Okay, what's yours?
The Dirt, that I really want you to watch. It's the Motley Crue movie.
Okay.
And it has like Pete Davidson and I forgot who else. It's a good cast.
My nose just whistled.
It's like a typical rock band movie. Kind of like Get Him to the Greek, because that has a lot of like drugs and
Rock star stuff.
rock and roll, you know. But I have always liked movies like that, except for Tenacious D. I didn't really like that one.
I grew up with that. Like, there's so much symbol. Like, I think the last time I watched it too was when I was like probably, I don't even know, 16, 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I never noticed how much like symbolism is in that movie. And yeah, I mean, actually, Tenacious D, if you haven't seen it, watch that movie. It's like kind of like a musical slash.
Camera's dying. Sorry.
Musical slash whatever. But yeah, watch that movie.
Comedy. Okay, thank you so much for listening to episode 4. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at JonnyPhoenix_ and at Internet Barbie with a 4. All links are below. Make sure to check out our beats if you're an artist and you need beats to sing or rap or write over. And if you want to work with us on songwriting and producing services, make sure to DM at
Hit us up.
Outlandsh with a 0.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. Bye.
Peace.
Okay, cool.